It's back to the hardwood. Good Tuesday evening to you. I'm Jordan King taking you through tonight's action. Christmas break in the rearview mirror, and the WLA girls basketball squad heads into the year 2022 in a logjam for second place in the Flyway Conference. That likely won't be the case when we're talking again this time next week, as the Vikes embark on a critical week in their Flyway Conference season. Coming up on Friday, it's a trip up the hill to take on rival St. Mary Springs Academy on the road. But tonight, WLA cannot overlook a talented Omro Foxes squad that has played itself to a 3-1 start to their own conference season. WLA with a big chance this week to establish itself firmly as the second-best team in this league, and it starts tonight right here on WLA TV. Anthem and starters coming up next. Stay with us.
Winnebago Lutheran Academy welcomes you to this evening's Flyway Conference basketball game between the Foxes of Omro and the Vikings of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Omro High School, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship at education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem. It's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, for the Foxes, a 5'8" junior, number 2, Ava Stachira. A 5'3" junior, number 3, Lindy Beck. A 5'4" senior, number 5, Hannah Federley. A 5'6" senior, number 12, Lily Derleaf. And a 5'9" senior, number 21, Tabitha Kilgus. The Foxes are coached by Tyler Geisler.
I want to welcome you back in here to the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. I'm Jordan King taking you through this evening's action right here on WLA TV. Glad to have you along. It's the Foxes and the Vikings, and they're announcing starting lineups right now. We'll get to the Vikings in just a second, but starting with the Foxes, who have 4 losses on the year. We'll get to that in just a second because that's a little bit misleading for Omro. They're 3-1 in the Flyway Conference in that logjam that I talked about just previously for second place in the Flyway standings. Ava Stachira is the leading scorer for the Foxes. She's number 2, and she's a 5'8" junior. Another junior in the starting lineup is Lindy Beck. She's number 3. 5'4" senior is number 5, Hannah Federley. Number 12, Lily Derleaf, is a 5'6" senior. And then Tabitha Kilgus, a 5'9" senior, closing out the starting 5 for the Foxes. Again, that's the starting 5 for the Foxes. For the Vikings, nothing changing in the starting 5. Number 2, Kiara Shea. Number 5, Lindsay Nell. 10, Siri Kuski. 22, Abby Cole. And then number 11, Jess Pino. Those the starting 5 has been pretty standard for Coach Schroffnagel through the season so far. Hasn't made many changes. Hasn't had to make many changes to that starting lineup. The Foxes, as I said, come into this game with 4 losses on the season, but you have to take that with a grain of salt. Not all losses are created equal. 3 of those are against, or were against at the time, ranked teams in their division. Laconia was ranked in the top 10 at the time. D3 ranked Kewaskum. They're still ranked as Omro wins the tip. And then D4 Westfield, number 5 currently. And that's who Omro lost to just about a week ago. Here goes Stachira down the lane. As I mentioned, Ava Stachira probably recognized that name if you watched last year between the Vikings and the Foxes. Stachura, nice outing last year against a very good Viking girls basketball squad as a sophomore. There's Jess Pino with the answer for the Vikings, and it's tied up here early on, 2-2. Stachura, also you'd remember Cade Stachura probably from the men's team over at Omro and one of the leading scorers in the conference last year as well. So Ava Stachura can certainly fill it up, averages 11.9 points per game, and she has the first couple for the Foxes here. Vikings get a steal with Kiara Shea, and Shea with a floater in the middle of the paint, and the Vikes take their first lead of the ball game, 4-2. The other loss for Omro so far this season, again, Laconia, Westfield, and Kewaskum were the first three I mentioned. The other one was to a team that the Vikings are well familiar with, and that was Luther Prep. And they took Prep, actually led Prep with a couple minutes to go in that game, just talking to Coach Geisthart before the game tonight, and thought that on another night they might have pulled out a win against a really good Luther Prep team. There's a miss there. That was Tabitha Kilgus, who was a little bit short on the three. Rebound down to the Vikings, and Shea's up the court like a bullet. Here's Lindsay Nell spinning into the paint. Kicks it out top of the key. That's Abby Cole, and Cole's going to drive on the left-hand side up with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Offensive board kicked out. Here's a right wing three on the way. Looks good, and it's hit by Kiara Shea. Kiara Shea, if she can get going, Vikings are going to be a tremendously difficult team to guard. Shea only 20.5%. 20% from three-point land so far this season. She's shot quite a few of them, and if she can get going, she's currently averaging 13 points a game without the help of many three-pointers. We'll see if she can turn that around here in the second half of the season. She pokes that away defensively from Stachura, ends up in the hands of Abby Cole. Cole looked like she might have carried that one. No whistles, but she missed the layup anyway. Rebound down to the Foxes and Stachura into the front court. This is Beck. Lindy Beck off of a screen, and she's now guarded on the switch by Lindsay Nell. Now pokes it away into the passing lane, up with the right hand on the right side, and Lindsay Nell scores her first points of the game. Lindsay Nell is the third leading scorer in all of the Flyway Conference, and that's going to earn a quick timeout here from Coach Schroffnagel, actually. Thought that might have been Coach Geisthart trying to avoid an early deficit for the Foxes, but Coach Schroffnagel likes those early timeouts as well. Get his defense set up once again and make sure the assignments are all taken care of. Vikings very good defensively. We know that. If you watch any WLA Viking basketball, girls basketball, very good, very sound defensively. And they pressure you. Unless the game gets out of hand, they're going to pressure you all 36 minutes of the game. We're 15:28 left here in the first half. Vikings have an 8-2 lead. Notice still don't have the scoreboard on there. We're going to see if we can manually put the scoreboard up there because faith in the huddle camera is dwindling. 8-2 lead, though, for the Vikings here early on. Hopefully continue to repeat the score well enough for you to remember what's going on. Stachura trying to get out of the clutches of Kiara Shea. She finds it here, finds a little open space into the front court. She goes. Nice pass fake there. That's Kilgus. Crosses over into the middle of the paint. Gets it down underneath. There's a nice move. I believe that was Cook. No, check that, Derleith. Not able to get it to go, and a good rebound by the Vikings. Cole between the circles into the front court. Hands here to Kiara Shea. Shea's got 5 early ones for the Vikings. Gets it down to Pino in the short corner, who gets it out to Lindsay Nell. Nell spins up with the left hand on the left side. Can't get it to go. Weak side rebound once again. That's the third offensive. Check that second offensive rebound here of the first half. Just about 3 minutes in for Jess Pino. And Pino rewarded with a foul. 8-2. 14:57 to go first half. And the first trip of the line tonight for the Vikings comes for Jess Pino. I believe that was the first made free throw of the year for Jess Pino. She was 0 for 8 before that. Writing down some statistics as hasn't gotten many opportunities from the line, and the Vikings not a very good free throw shooting team regardless. Pino goes 1 for 2. And not touched by an Omro Fox in the corner, so it'll go back to Omro. 9-2 lead for the Vikings. Vikings really not efficient at all from any level of scoring, and I don't mean to be harsh. 39% from the floor, 21% from three only, 50.6% from the free throw line. So, you leave points out there at the line. Oh, nice cut by Stachura. She gets open. Check that. That is Hannah Federley with a nice little flex cut there to get open. She's into the front court, hands it off. Down the lane goes Beck, and Beck can't get that one to go. Good look so far for the Foxes. None of them fall, though. Here is Kiera Shea, kicks it out. Here's Nell. Nell back to Shea in the corner. Shot fake and drives. Abby Cole kicks it back out to Siri Kuski. Haven't seen Kuski involved much offensively, and there's a screen and roll. She gets herself into the left corner. Now drives to the middle of the paint. Reverse dribble, and she gets it down to the right corner. Oh, and Kiera Shea thought about another right wing three. Looked like she was fouled. It was blocked, so it should stay with the Vikings, and it will. 14-15 to go in the first half. 9-2 lead for WLA. Wondering how long it might take. Sometimes you see the statistics and you try to predict who the other teams. I saw a little bit of Omro Laconia, but other than that, I don't have unlimited time, so I can't watch every Omro game. You try to use the stats to predict who might start. I thought Julia Cook might start. She doesn't. Offensive rebound here for Abby Cole, and she can't get it to go, and a nice rebound from Cook underneath. Cook's still second leading scorer off the bench for Omro. She doesn't start, but still impacts this game in many ways, and there's an offensive rebound. Good hustle play for Julia Cook here early on. So she's got a defensive board, an offensive board. Drew a foul on Abby Cole, first personal, first team. 13:59 to go first half. Here's Derleith, gets it back to Stachira, and first opportunity shooting for Cook, and can't get it to go. Nice rebound for Cole. Cole's got several. Cole's now the leading rebounder for the Vikings. For a while, almost the entire non-conference portion of the season, it was Lindsay Nell. And there is Nell on a nice cut and feed from Cole, and Nell's got 4. Cole now second in the conference in rebounding at 9.3 boards a game. Nell still averages 9, and she is third in the conference. Vikings obviously would expect to be one of the better teams in the conference this season and have players individually ranked as such at this point in the season. There's a bounce pass stolen away from Kiera Shea. Can she collect it? She will. Can she keep the dribble? She won't. That's in the right corner. Lobs it up to Lindsay Nell. Nell dribbles inside the three-point line and kicks to Cole. 11-2 Viking lead. We're ticking under 13 minutes to go here in the first half. Cole, shot fake and drives with the left hand. Down the left side of the lane, and they're going to get a bump? No. Nice defensive work there. I believe that was Cook once again who tied things up underneath. Possession arrow keeps it with the Vikings. But Julia Cook coming off the bench has been a nice little spark here for the Foxes, who haven't gotten anything going offensively, but have done a decent job defensively so far. I say that the Vikings have carved out 11 points. Here's Kiera Shea, top of the key. Kuski, right wing three, thought about by Abby Cole, and now she's going to dribble. Kuski in the corner, and a nice patient possession here from the Vikings. As I say that, now goes down the paint, goes up with the right hand, can't get it to go. Tipped out, and it should stay with the Vikings. Nice hustle there on the offensive glass once again, Jess Pino. 12:38 to go first half. 11-2 Viking lead. Omro's gotten a couple of looks, as I mentioned, and here goes Nell down the paint. Can't get it to go. Nice defense by Stachira, and a good rebound to clear it out by Kilgus. And Stachira will once again clear the possession for Omro. With all due respect to everyone else that has tried to guard Ava Stachira, I would guess this is going to be her toughest assignment yet this season, trying to deal with Kiera Shea. Vikings, I don't know if they're switching everything or if they're in a 2-3 zone. Might be a 2-3 zone. Here's a triple. And if it is a 2-3 zone, maybe that'll shoot them out of it. Tabitha Kilgus hits the left wing three, and it's 11-5. That's the first three hit tonight for Omro. And Kilgus, who averages just 2.9 points per game, already above that season average with that triple. 11:49 to go first half. 6-point Viking lead. Shea does a nice job to keep the pivot foot and kick it out to Nell. Nell's going to fire up a three. This one is short. Offensive rebound, fought for and collected by Abby Cole. Kicks it out to Shea. Shea kicks it back out to Nell, who drives the paint, can't get it to go. Little contact, nothing worth a foul. Here's Stachira running the break for the Foxes. Near side, three on the way, just a little bit off to the right. And a good rebound by Kiera Shea, and like a lightning bolt, she's up the floor. That should be a block, and it is. you have to be quite a ways ahead of Kiara Shea before she takes flight if you're going to slide underneath it, or it's going to be a block. And Lindy Beck, I think, learned that one the hard way there as she slid underneath and advancing Kiara Shea. So Shea's first opportunity from the free throw line, and the first free throw is up and off. Now, talking to Coach Schroffnagel, Kiara Shea is something like it's crazy percentage, something like a 75% free throw shooter coming into the season. She's shooting just 58.6% from the line. Now, she went like 2 for 11 or 2 for 10 or something like that against Seymour a couple of weeks ago, and that's an 0 for 2 start here tonight, as Omro almost turns that one over with a couple of Viking deflections. But uncharacteristic from the free throw line for Kiara Shea so far, and really altogether shooting for Shea so far this season. She's shooting at just 33% clip. Here's a three on the way. This one's long, fought for by, I believe that was Cook. Yeah, Cook, good hustle, but can't keep it in play. 11-5 lead still for the Vikings, 10:58 to go first half. And Kiara Shea will trot into the front court. Now, Shea has never been asked to be a huge scorer. She's played with Geneva Hewitt and Elena Supernan. Down the lane, she goes on the right side, can't get it to go. That one's just a little bit strong on the layup opportunity. She expends so much effort at the defensive side of the floor. You just wonder if that does impact a little bit of the offensive statistics. Nice drive and take for Lily Derleith. And Derleith's got her first 2 points of the game. So Stachura, Derleith, and Kilgus with the 3 buckets so far for Omro, who cuts this back down to a 4-point lead. It was a 7-point lead at one point. Nice take by Kiara Shea. And Shea's got 7. 13-7, Vikes restore a 6-point lead. Check it, it was a 9-point lead at one time for the Vikings. Nice take to the middle of the paint, and Beck can't get it to go, but an offensive rebound is fought for, collected, and finished by Maddie Brooks, who averages 6.5 points a game. She's got her first half points here. Double screen for Shea. She's going to decline it, go down the right side, kick it out to Kuski. Haven't seen much Siri Kuski so far tonight. Kuski usually lives on the backdoor cuts and getting second chance opportunities as well. And Coach Schroffnagel doesn't like what he sees offensively. Going to take a full timeout, as Omro's done a nice job to weather the early Vikings storm, get some things going offensively, and they've cut the lead to 4. With 9:40 to play in the first half, Vikings lead at 13-9. We'll take a timeout with them. Come back after this on WLA TV. So a couple of early timeouts here for Coach Schroffnagel, trying to clean a few things up for his squad. Once again, it is a big game coming up on Friday. Vikings having to travel to the St. Mary Springs Academy Ledgers, go on the road. Vikings, though, can't overlook this. Here is Lindsay Nell, who got it at the high post, kicks it out, right wing 3 on the way, looked off, and it was well strong there from Abby Cole, and a good rebound from Derleith. Up the floor comes Omro quickly. Nice bounce pass, and Brooks finishes. Maddie Brooks has 4, and that was Julia Cook once again making things happen, this time with the feed. Cook averages 2 assists a game. There's one. Another 3-point opportunity for Cole. This one is once again strong, and a nice rebound from Brooks. Stachura. Omro wants to run. There is Cook. Oh, blocked by Peyton Chemnitz. Chemnitz swats that one. 13-11, Vikes lead it by 2. Top of the key, Lindsay Nell. Nell crosses, kicks it near side, ends up with Cole in the corner. Abby Cole to the middle of the paint, up with the left hand, spins around. How does that not go down? And Cook does a nice job boxing out Abby Cole, and Cole forced to just tip it out of bounds. 8:30 to go first half, and Coach Geisthart, big smile over there on the Omro bench, and how could you blame him with the way his team has played over the course of the last couple of minutes? Vikes had an 11-2 lead. That is now 13-11. Make that a 9-2, now an 11-2 run to tie it up. Maddie Brooks with 6 straight points. A couple of minutes ago, Omro was down 6. Maddie Brooks erased that deficit by herself. 13-13, down the left side of the paint goes Cole. Finishes. Abby Cole with her first bucket of the evening. Cole averages 12.8 points per game, and the Vikes have retaken a lead. 7:56 to go in the first. Stachura going to use a Brooks screen. Gets it to the corner. Shot fake there. Back out to Stachura. There's a drive, a little contact, no whistle. Cook got to the rack, but a nice job to affect the shot by Lindsay Nell. Here goes Stachura once again. Vikings playing without Kiera Shea, who's back to the scorer's table. Stachura going to try to head to the free throw line, draws the contact, and Ava Stachura, the junior, get an opportunity from the line. First trip there for Omro. Vikes have shot a couple of free throws so far. They have a couple of trips, 2 for 4. Check that, 1 for 4. And Stachura misses the front end here. So a couple of spark plugs off the bench for the Foxes now going to take a seat. Cook and Brooks, who were very impressive in that stint. 0 for 2 from the line goes Stachura, and Vikes retain a 2-point lead. Maddie Lair is on the floor for the Vikings. She's going to assume the point guard responsibilities for WLA. Down the lane she goes, up with the floater. Maddie Lair, not a huge scorer for the Vikings, but does have a quick first step and generally is a decent ball handler for the Vikings. Stachura has that poked away. Standing out of bounds was an Omro player. It should go back to the Vikings. Whoa. Wow. That was overruled by the referee on the other side of the court, so it'll stay with Omro. No communication there from the officials either. They just both pointed a separate way, and guess we found out who outranks the other there. Nice spin inside the lane. I think that was Kilgis. Yeah, no, check that. That was Derleith. Couldn't get it to go, but fought for the offensive rebound and got it. Once again, pestered by Kiera Shea is Ava Stachura. She hands off. Down the lane, tipped by Chemnitz. Ends up in the corner. That shot is missed. Kilgis was strong. And once again, Derleith underneath, winning an extra possession for the Foxes. I think the hustle category, you'd say you have to go to the Foxes so far, getting on the floor, getting offensive rebounds. Vikings doing the same, but very nice job so far. That's tipped out by Kiera Shea. And you just don't get a break with Kiera Shea. You just don't. I don't know what the extra. Oh, they're joking around down there. Here's Derleith. Hands off to Stachura. Going to run her off a double screen, and Kiera Shea just runs through it. Shea runs through the double screen. That's tipped out by the Vikings, who continue to give some extra possessions here to Omro. Vikings could clean up a few things here. 6:35 to go first half. 2-point Viking lead. Stachura going to key it in. Once again, Shea hounding the inbounds pass. And almost a 5-second count, tipped out by Jess Pino. If nothing else, it'll reward the Foxes with a fresh 5 seconds, but a difficult place to throw the ball in down there in the corner. Stachura lobs it in over a couple of teammates' heads, now in trouble just past the half-court line, but the Foxes able to take care of it with Kilgis and Derleith. Here is Federley. That's taken away, though, and Abby Cole's into the front court. Cole running the break for the Vikings down the left side. She's fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line. Trying to see the number there, who that might have been. They're going to say Federley got her on the bump. 6:18 to go first half, 15-13 Viking lead. First trip to the line here for Abby Cole. Vikes are 1 for 4 as a team. Make it 2 for 5. Cole makes the first. 16-13 with 6:18 left in the first half. Omro 3-1, Springs 3-1, WLA 3-1, Laconia 4-0. But Laconia, the asterisk behind the 4-0 for Laconia is Abby Cole makes her second to extend this back to a 4-point Viking lead. Oh, that's a nice cut by Cook, and Cook's rewarded. Nice pass from Kilgus as well. Julia Cook's first 2 points, and it's back to a 2-point game. 3 of the 4 games for Laconia are wins over what they would consider, I would say, their stiffest competition for a Flyway Conference title. They've already beaten Omro, WLA, and Springs. Laconia very much in the driver's seat in the conference. Hey, just as we talked about with Cook, stole it, and had that not gotten tipped by Kiera Shea, it might have been a carry anyway. But a couple of hustle players there. Julia Cook has been very, very impressive. That's missed by Brooks. Rebound on the far side is Shea. Shea somehow keeps the dribble. 5:37 to go in the first half. 2-point Viking lead. Here's Cole. Cole hands to Nell. Nell down the right side of the paint. Oh, Lindsay Nell so smooth on the right side. She's got 6. And Kiera Shea steals the inbounds pass to Abby Cole. And Cole finishes. Count the basket plus the foul. Abby Cole headed back to the free throw line. 21-15, just like that. Vikings, I was just going to say Vikings going stagnant offensively. Lindsay Nell goes down the right side of the paint with a strong finish. Inbounds pass picked off from Kiera Shea. And she feeds it underneath to a cutting Abby Cole, who finished through the contact. Usually you see that from Ethan Cole on the boys' side. But Abby did a terrific job there, and she's now 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And you always got to be careful. 22-15. Coach Geistart's going to take a timeout, just a 30-second here to clean things up for his team. You always got to take that extra layer of caution when Kiera Shea is on the opposing sideline. Because you just turn around and aimlessly throw that basketball, you're going to be in trouble. Shea's usually the first one there. Shea leads the conference in steals at 4.3 steals per game. Mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. She was sitting at 4.3, and that was second in the Flyway Conference behind Johannes from Laconia. And Molly Johannes has slipped down underneath the 4 steal per game mark. She's still a terrific defender, plays at the top of that zone for Laconia, which is such a tough defensive assignment. So take nothing away from her, but I think Shea still probably the best defender in this conference. A couple of just phenomenal defenders, though. I would say 2 of the better ones in the state that you get to watch night in and night out in the Flyway Conference. It's a fun conference to watch, no doubt about it. There's Brooks, who can't get that one to go, and a nice strong rebound by Abby Cole. Vikings trying to go on a run here before halftime. 5 minutes until the halftime intermission, and the Vikes have opened up a 7-point lead. Can they push it back to their largest lead, which was 9? Cole's going to try to make a new game high, but this one is airballed a little bit strong for Abby Cole. Nice rebound by Kilgus. Into the front court, this is Beck. Beck far side Statura. Cutting down the lane goes Kilgus. Floater, missed. Rebound, Cole once again. Abby Cole has been a monster on the boards. Ethan Cole had 22 rebounds last night, by the way. Vikings played at Oakfield. But sister Abby Cole doing a nice job tonight. Lindsay Nell going to key up another triple. This one missed. Offensive rebound fought for, but not taken in by Cole. Into the front court comes Cook. Cook on the far side. Statura looks underneath. Can't get it to Brooks. Now going to drive. Yeah, it's an offensive foul. Abby Cole got position, stood there, took it. And Ava Statura maybe just pressing a little bit there. Statura's got just 2 points. She averages nearly 12 a night. Statura also leads the Foxes in assists with almost 3 assists per game. Brooks going to take a seat as they bring in Lily Derleith again. And 5 rebounds per game for Ava Stachura, who is the point guard for this team. 1-3-1 look now defensively. Maybe that's just the offense of the Vikings, perhaps. Can't really tell which that is. Oh, they're going to get a hold underneath. Certainly looked like a jump tied up ball there. But they're going to say there was some hand in that first. Looked like a good defensive play from the Foxes. Nonetheless, that's the 6th team foul, and I think I just heard a couple of Omro fans pointing that out to the officials, who probably know that. Almost a 5-second call there for Shea. Here's Nell. 6 team fouls for the Foxes, just 2 for the Vikings. It's always frustrating when you look up as a fan and see that, regardless of if you feel it's, some sort of misdoing. Just tough to see. There's Lindsay Nell finishing through some contact, and Nell's got 8. The sophomore is doing it once again for the Vikings. Lindsay Nell and Abby Cole leading this team so far tonight. Shea also doing a nice job. They're going to say Pino drug the pivot foot after stealing it. Just couldn't keep that left foot down quite long enough. This match is the biggest lead of the night for the Vikings at 9, 24-15, 3:22 to go in the first half. That one's thrown right by Pino. Down the lane goes Cook. Nice finish and a good take from Julia Cook. Cook, just a sophomore, one of several sophomores. We haven't seen a ton of the sophomores out there, but Brooks and Cook have now combined for 10 of the 17. So sophomores going at it here. 15 combined for Nell and Cole, and 10 combined for Cook and Brooks. Here's a left wing 3, keyed up by Shea. Hit it. Kiera Shea is the first player into double figures for either team. She's hit a couple of threes so far tonight. 2 for 2, I believe. Kiera Shea, and now she gets her hand on an inbounds pass, stolen by Cole. Cole behind the back dribble. Oh, no need for that, and it's turned back over to the Foxes. Shea doing her best to stop the ball. She does so, and finished by Lindy Beck. That was almost a great individual defensive possession by Kiera Shea. Full timeout for Coach Schaffnagel. We're going to take it with him. 27-19, Vikes lead it by 8. Momentarily had a 10-point lead. 2:28 to go here till halftime. You're watching and listening on WLA-TV. Welcome back in here to Winnebago Lutheran Academy. 27-19. Vikings have an 8-point lead over the Omro Foxes, and kind of talked about this before the break. Vikings had a rough display offensively against Seymour. Got the job done, played really well defensively, but you just wondered how much of that was the end of the first semester. And you get the Christmas break. Now on the other side of that, come back refreshed. All that baggage from the first semester, kind of melts away, and kind of clean things up, clean mind. How about a New Year's resolution of not losing another game for the Vikings? How about that? Shea almost throws this one away. Shea then cuts through. Here's Nell, though. Nell crosses over against Stachura, gives it to Kuski, and Kuski between the circles gives it back here near right side to Kiera Shea. Shea back to Nell. Nell still guarded by Stachura. Going to try to go one-on-one here. Oh, and tipped away, and they're going to say illegally by Lily Derleith. That's the 7th team foul. First on Derleith, 7th team foul. And Nell heads to the charity stripe. First free throw up and good for Nell. And she earns the second one. 9 points now for the sophomore. And second one's good as well. So Lindsay Nell joins Kiera Shea as WLA players with double figures here in the first half. Getting free here is Federley in the backcourt. She's guarded by Kuski. Uses a screen from Kilgus. Now switched off to Pino. Nice position underneath from Ava Stachura, and Stachura finishes. Nice strong finish underneath. And I would say if that might be a place where Stachura can have a little bit of success against Kiera Shea. Got a 4-inch height advantage, 5'8" versus 5'4", and Stachura made that one look easy. Here's a right wing three. Shea hit it again. Shea is 3 for 3 from the three-point land, and the Vikings have another largest lead of the first half. This time it's 11, 32-21. Under a minute to go in the first half. Down to the corner, Kilgus, shot fake. Gets Pino off of her feet. Down the paint she goes. Can't get it to finish. Pino gets the rebound for the Vikes, and we'll see if they slow it down for one shot and take at least a double-figure halftime lead into the locker room. Shea with a shot fake. Gets it to Kuski. Down to the corner to Cole. Still 36 seconds. Vikings want to go quickly. Up with the left hand. Cole can't finish. Nice rebound. And cleared out. Here is Cook. Cook has Stachura trying to post up once again. Stachura trying to work against Shea. Tipped off of the foot of Ava Stachura, and it goes back to the Vikings. 19.4 seconds left. Nice job defensively for the Vikes. And now I would expect, yeah, there's the signal from Coach Schaffnagel. Just slow it down here. Let's get one more good quality offensive possession. 12 seconds. They're going to set up a double screen here for Kiera Shea. 8 seconds. 7 and counting down. Shea drives the lane. Up with the right hand on the right side. Finishes. Kiera Shea's got a dozen. And the Vikes lead is 13. Stepping over the line is Federley. And Coach Heck on the clock there was quick on the trigger to stop it with .9. And the Vikes going to get one heave here. Let's see who they try to get it to. Lob it up to Kuski. She's got to throw it up. She does so. Almost banked in for Siri Kuski. Nonetheless, the Vikings finish that first half on an incredibly strong note. What was tied up at one point. Vikings had an early 9-point lead. 11-2 they led it. Omro stormed all the way back and tied things up. The Vikings then reasserted their dominance and have re-extended this out to a 13-point halftime lead. 34-21. Put 10 minutes on the clock for halftime. We'll come back with some facts and figures here at halftime coming up in just a couple of minutes. You're watching WLA Girls Varsity Basketball. It's a 13-point lead on WLA TV. Well, just about ready for the second half of action here between the Foxes and the Vikings. On WLA TV, Jordan King with you. Glad to have you along here on this Tuesday evening. First of the second semester of sporting events here on WLA TV. We'll have basketball, boys basketball on Thursday as well. Girls travel on the road to Springs on Friday. Wrestling at Lamira on Thursday as well. That's a big one. You know, Lamira got to be considered the favorites on the wrestling side of things. Get you some first half stats. Lindy Beck had 2 points, as did Lily Derleith. 3 points for Tabitha Kilgus, 4 for Julia Cook, 4 for Ava Stachera, and the leading scorer for the Foxes was Maddie Brooks with 6. Add that all up, and it adds to the 21 points for Omro. For the Vikings, just 4 scorers. 3 for Jess Pino, 7 for Abby Cole, 10 for Lindsay Nell, 15 for Kiera Shea. Check that. 14? No, I got 15 for Shea. That adds up to 35. Vikings have 34. So I missed one somewhere along the way. We'll figure it out. I believe Shea might only have 14 points. Either that or the scoreboard is incorrect. I think I'm incorrect. Second half of play here. Vikings spent all 10 minutes in the locker room. Omro only spent about half, 6 minutes, 7 minutes of that halftime intermission in the locker room. And now I don't really get the feeling that Coach Schroffnagel is a tear the paint off the walls kind of halftime speech kind of maker for the Vikings type of coach. That's missed from Shea. Offensive rebound fought for and collected by Nell. Short corner Pino. That's stolen by Federley. Collecting the ball once again after Federley saved it was Nell. And Nell now has it on that left side. Right side, check that. She is blocked. Gets it back. Goes up with the floater. And Nell has 12. First points of the second half scored by the Vikings. 17:03 left in the game, 36-21. Vikings have a 15-point lead. Anything from here on out will be their biggest lead. Here's Lindy Beck. Beck crosses over. Gets it to Federley. Federley between the circles. Now near side, lobbed into Stachera. Coach Geisthardt, I think, is going to try to get Stachera going in the post against Kiera Shea. It's really tough to do so at the perimeter, so try to get her down on the block. Worked once, but only 1 out of 3 or 4 times under there. There's Abby Cole. Can't get that one to go. Cole usually finishes well underneath. Not able to do so that time. And back the other way comes Stachera. Check that, Federley. This is Kilgus. Tries to lob one in. Nice play defensively by Abby Cole. Tipping the ball away from Derleith. And going coast to coast. Up with the right hand. Can't finish. Offensive rebound once again collected by Pino. Offensive rebound to Cole. Cole can't finish it. Tries to get her own offensive board. Lindsay Nell ends up with it. She swipes through. Near side now with Kiera Shea. Shot fake and a drive from Cole. Vikings slow it way down now. And between the circles goes Siri Kuski. Kuski directing traffic. Another triple on the way. This one's well strong. And a rebound from Derleith. That was Shea once again on the three-point attempt. She's missed both 3-point. Check that. It's her third three-point attempt of this second half and has missed all 3 of them after missing only 1 in the first half. She made 3 of them. Abby Cole gets a rebound after Omro can't get a layup opportunity underneath. Kuski has it in the corner. Kuski drives in the middle of the paint. Up. Almost a strong finish from Siri Kuski, but she'll head to the free throw line. You know, the Vikings, we've talked about their offensive inefficiencies so far this season. Don't shoot the ball particularly well. And certainly that was on full display earlier as Kuski makes the first. Right before break with that game against Seymour when what was the final score, 49-39, something like that. Vikings usually average around somewhere in the 60s. As Kuski goes 1 for 2 from the stripe, and the Vikings have a 37-21 lead. Down to the corner, Federley. Bounce pass and a nice cut to Lily Derleith, and Derleith's got 4. It's 37-23 with 15 minutes to go in the game. But just talking to Coach Schroffnagel after that, shots are going to fall, shots might not fall. He just cares about them being engaged defensively. And that's what the Vikings are on most nights, and they are once again tonight, holding Omro to just 23 points thus far. Down the lane goes Cole. It's blocked, and it'll stay with the Vikings. But if you have the right mindset, good intensity, if that starts to slip, that's when you start to see frustration from Coach Schroffnagel. It's not if the three-pointers fall. If you're getting good looks and they just aren't going, that's part of basketball. Here's Pino underneath. To the corner. Kuski, triple on the way. It misses. A rebound off of Federley's knee, and it'll stay here with the Vikings. Almost looked like Pino might have drug the pivot foot there, but I think she did a good job to keep it planted. It was one of those that looks like a travel and sometimes gets called a travel, but I don't think it was. Offensive rebound, fought for and collected by Lindsay Nell, but they're going to get Nell on a foul there. They'll say a two-handed push, which is incorrect with both of your hands over the top of your head. But that's all right. If you're going to call, I'm just, it's semantics, but it's a body then, if we're going to call it. There's Brooks. That's a great press break from the Foxes, and guess who makes it all for naught? Shakira Shea sprinting back and tapping the ball away from Ava Stachera. But that was a nice-looking inbounds play to break the press. Very successful. Once again, Stachera going to try to run off a couple of screens. Gets it near side here to Beck. Lindy Beck drives the lane. Now gets it back out to Stachera. She's going to drive the middle of the paint. Oh, with the English. What a finish underneath. Ava Stachera's got 6. 37-25 cuts it to a 12-point Viking lead. 14 minutes to go in the game. Lindsay Nell works her way to the free throw line. Turns, crosses. Gets it back out to Abby Cole. Cole between the legs. Hands off to Kuski. Kuski now has it far side. Vikings going to try to work it underneath to Pino. Forced in there from Cole. Stolen away from Federley. Near side. Stachera going to key up a 3. Oh, rattled around and out. Abby Cole turns it back over, though, to the Foxes after Dare Leith with a nice hustle play to challenge her in the corner. So one thing sometimes and I know the Vikings want to run. They love to run, and that's when they're at their best. But sometimes they get the rebound, and they put the ball on the floor so quickly that they put themselves into harm's way a little bit unnecessarily. That was fought for by several Vikings. Ends up with Kira Shea. Shea kicks it back out. Kuski finds Nell. Nell driving the right side of the paint. Scoops it up. Can't get it to go. Nice defense there from Federley, who also grabs the rebound. Gets it up ahead. That is Dare Leith. Blocked by Kiara Shea. The 5'4" Kiara Shea rises up and blocks that one. Just tipped it away from Lily Dare Leith. Lair and Chemnitz return for the Vikings, who once again have done it on the defensive side of the floor tonight. 13-17 to go in the game. Also checking in for the Foxes, Julia Cook. And Cook had a good spark for the Foxes. She gets open for a 3 here. Shot fake, drives the paint down to the right side, scoops with the right hand and scores. Right on cue, Julia Cook scores her 6th point of the night. She's got 6. Stachera's got 6, and it's back to a 10-point lead for the Vikings. Here goes Chemnitz down the left side, kicks it out to Shea. Thinking about the 3, going to fire it up. It's off to the right. Rebound down to Stachera. Stachera wants to run up to Federley. Federley down the right side, working on Chemnitz. Nice move up and under, can't get it to go. And a good rebound from Peyton Chemnitz. That was a terrific up and under from Federley. Coach Schroffnagel wants a timeout. Just a 30 seconds, so we'll keep it here. 12:38 to go in the game. I'll tell you what, Omro, the one thing that sticks out to me, and again, Omro very similar to what WLA has experienced this year, and I haven't watched every Omro game, but certainly tonight, Omro is not a team that's going to shoot the cover off the basketball, right? But everything is fundamentally sound from Coach Geistart's crew, and I think that's probably the best compliment you can give. They're scrappy, do a terrific job on the glass, good job defensively as well. The shots will fall at some point, especially with a team like this. Stachera, junior. Beck, junior. Cook, sophomore. Brooks, sophomore. I mean, team that Has a couple of senior leaders, certainly, but got some players with some real experience at the varsity level that are still relatively young, going to have a chance to continue to improve. Here's a bump from Federle, who just knocks Kiera Shea off of her path to the hoop. And they're going to throw it in on that far side. 12:26 to go in the game. See if Omro can push this back within single digits. They need a stop first and score. They're down by 10, 37-27. Vikings in the backcourt. Shea taking her time to get it across the timeline. Vikings really, really slowing things up here. Shea going at Federle, kicks it to the corner. Chemnitz has it there. Vikings really spreading out, trying to see if maybe they can get some drive and dishes. There's some space in the paint. Shea finds it, and she scores. I got Shea for 17. We'll call it 16 for Shea. I think I missed one there for Kiera Shea. Vikings lead at 39-27. Here's a triple on the way for Federle. Hit it. And a Federle with just the second three of the night for the Foxes, and it's back to a single-digit lead for the Vikings, 39-30. 11:30 to go in the game. The Omro bench clapping as their teammates out on the floor have cut back into a Viking lead. Down the lane goes Nell. Can't get that one to go. Nice rebound from Ava Stachera. And she's into the front court now. Far side Brooks. The sophomore picks up her dribble. Now she's in a little bit of trouble. Bounces to Stachera. Nice pass underneath. Tipped away, though, by Lindsay Nell. That's a tough assignment for Nell, working on the sophomore Cook. But she's able to get a hand on it, steal the basketball. Vikes are back the other way. Now Nell offensively. Try to get her involved a little bit. Nell spins up with the right hand. And after almost what looked like he was going to punch a and one call, they're going to say Lindsay Nell drug the pivot foot. 39-30, 10:52 to go in the game. Looked like a nice move from Nell. A little bit of contact there as well. But she drug the pivot foot before any of that all happened. Here's Beck. Becca done a nice job handling the ball when Stachura has not. Got to give Stachura credit. There's a bump from Abby Cole. We'll see if this was on the floor. Yeah, they're going to say it's on the floor. You got to take a few possessions off when you're getting guarded by Kiera Shea, and Beck's done a nice job to alleviate some of that responsibility off the plate of Ava Stachura. Stachura throws it in, going to run herself off of a screen. Here's Kilgus. Kilgus bounces it down to Stachura, who once again had good position on Kiera Shea, and a nice rebound after it missed, though, for the Vikings' Abby Cole. Into the front court comes Shea. 10:18 to go in the game. Vikings still lead it by 9. Low-scoring defensive battle here between the Foxes and the Vikings in what expects to be one of the bigger games of this conference season in determining who will finish in second or challenge the Laconia. We'll speak optimistically. Who will challenge the Laconia Spartans for the Flyway Conference title. Nice cut by Jess Pino. She's found by Chemnitz. Kicks it back out, top of the key. Chemnitz back to Pino, short corner. There's Shea, top of the key between the circles. Chemnitz cuts through. That's tipped by Stachura. Collected by Maddie Lair. Nice job by Maddie Lair to retain possession for the Vikes. Here's Cole. Has it poked away. Nice defense by Brooks. She finds Cook. Cook up the floor. Nice spin move. Can't get it to go. Left hand finish not there. Brooks, offensive rebound. Bounce pass to Cook. Cook finishes. Julia Cook's got 8. Averages 11.2 points per game. And she has been a huge spark plug, as has Brooks off the bench for Omro. It's a 7-point lead for the Vikings. Lair down the lane, up and finishes with the right hand. Maddie Lair floats in the middle of the paint and banks it in. Here's Beck, 41-32. Vikes back up by 9. Top of the key, Stachura trying to work once again on Shea. That's a pass stolen. Kilgus had it taken away by Cole, who then has it stolen by guess who? Brooks. Brooks has Cook on the near side. Bounce pass a little bit behind her. Cook collects in the corner. She's guarded by Chemnitz. Goes baseline. Nice take. She's fouled. Oh, wow. You could see Cook's arm being dragged down there. No foul called. Coach Strafnagel is going to take a full timeout. We'll take it with them. That was a terrific drive by Julia Cook and deserved to go to the free throw line for it, but she will not. Instead, the Vikes can have possession with a chance to retake a double-digit lead. 8:24 on the clock left in tonight's ball game, 41-32. It's a Viking lead on WLA TV. Stay with us. Back here at Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Vikings have a 41-32 lead. That was a big juncture there. And the Vikings getting the benefit of that for sure. Here is Shea on the far side. She's working down the middle of the paint, up with the floater. Usually those go for Kira Shea. That's her bread and butter. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound fought for and collected by Nell. Kicks it back out to Shea. A little miscommunication as Kuski saves it for the Vikings. Kuski has a single point tonight. She averages nearly 10 a game for the Vikings. Can Siri Kuski get going? Been neutralized well. Now she's going to try to find her own shot. Kicks it to Nell. Nell top of the key. A couple of Foxes backed off her. Thought Lindsay Nell might try a triple. And they got a block underneath as Cole drove the paint. And Brooks whistled for her first foul. So it's a 9-point lead for the Vikings. 41-32, 7:45 to play. Abby Cole will key it in, looks for Kuski, now bounces far near side to Shea on this left side. Shea's going to go to work. Down the lane goes Cole. Oh, that's such a good finish from Abby Cole. Cole's got 9, and she just contorted her body to avoid the contact. Would have certainly been an offensive foul. There's no doubt in my mind. If there's contact there and the Omro player goes down, it's going to get punched for an offensive foul. She just kind of swiveled her body to avoid the contact and finish. Just a tremendous job by Abby Cole and a nice defensive possession to follow it up for the Vikes. Going to take under 7 minutes here on this possession, and the Vikes are back to an 11-point lead. Handing off is Cole to Nell. Nell on the left side. Kicks it back to Cole. Thought about the three. I think being over there by Coach Schaffner, I can't hear to that side of the court, but I think that might have been a no. one of those situations. Let's drain a little clock, and Nell has that one poked away. Stachura looks far side. That was back. Now Stachura crosses over. Down the paint she goes, and she got bumped and a travel. More contact there. No whistle in the favor of the Foxes. 11-point lead for the Vikings. 6:35 and counting. Kira Shea walks it into the front court, crosses. Into the paint she goes. Near side. Abby Cole gets to her spot in the middle of the paint. Lindsay Nell declines the screen. Now she has it in that right corner. Skip past to, check that, that's Shea over here. And back to Jess Pino. Pino going to dribble to the middle of the paint. Dribble, drive, handoff right now for the Vikings. Shea's going to key this one up. Best look she's had all night from three, and she can't get it to go. Hit three in the first half. Has gone cold here in the second. That's tipped away. Guess who? Kiara Shea. Shea to Nell. Nell to Kuski. There's Siri Kuski getting involved for the Vikings. her first field goal of the night. She's got 3 points, and the lead's back to 13. 5:43 to go in the game. Vikings just keeping Omro at arm's length right now. Here is Cook, far side. Skip pass here to Derleith, who dribble drives, hands off to Federle. Federle collects between the circles, working on Nell. She drives the left side of the paint, and they're going to say a shooting foul there as Nell got Federle on the bump. Man, some of the physical play we've seen on that side of the floor, that was not among the top 5. But I think Omro deserves a few after some of the ones we saw earlier. Federle misses the front end. 0 for 3. Free throw discrepancy tonight. This will be the 4th free throw for Omro. Vikings have shot 13. Check that, 11 free throws. There's a pretty big foul disparity in the first half. 1 for 2 from the line for Federle. And it's back to a 12-point Viking lead. 5:18 to go in the game as Shea's into the front court, hands to Nell. Nell gets to the middle of the paint and hands back off Shea. Shea, nice first step into the middle of the paint, and she floats it up and gets fouled. So chance here for Kiara Shea to extend the Vikings' lead at the free throw line. A place that has been better to the Vikings of recent memory. They're 6 for their last 7 from the free throw line after going 1 for their first 4. But Shea is now just 0 for 3 tonight from the line. Second one for Shea is good. So she's 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Wonder if one of her first half threes was ruled a 2-pointer for Kiara Shea. That could be. Here's Federle. Federle spins. Far side. That's Kilgus. Kilgus working on Cole. Lob pass, and a nice one it is. There's Cook, pardon me. Cook can't get it to go, and she's fouled. Julia Cook been very active offensively and defensively tonight for all the Foxes are. And Cook, just her first trip to the line here tonight. She misses the first. A lot to be excited about if you're a Foxes fan. Second one is long as well for Julia Cook. Cook's a sophomore, Brooks a sophomore. Here's Nell for the Vikings. She's a sophomore, as is Abby Cole. Good sophomore talent out on the floor. A lot of these players playing, a lot of the impact players in this game tonight. Going to be back once again if they all stay where they are. Wow, that was a continuation and a finish from Lindsay Nell. Count the basket and the foul for Lindsay Nell. Nell's working on a very nice game. She's got 14, averages exactly 15 points per game. And they just stopped it. That should go back to the wow. They just stopped it, blew the horn, and Lindsay Nell just continued. Going back the other way. There's back underneath. Nice pass. Can't get it to go. Derleith. It's a 16-point Viking lead, largest of the night. And 14-15 to go. 4:15, sorry, not 14-15. We didn't add 10 minutes. 4:15 to go in the ball game, and the Vikings trying to just close this thing out. Don't let it get away from you at this point. You worked hard here in the second half to build this back into a big lead. Don't let it slip away. That's fought up for underneath. And they're going to say Abby Cole bumped the Foxes player. And Coach Geisthart going to take a timeout. A couple whistles here, I think, just to calm things down. Reassert some control on this game, and it probably just about needed it. 3:57 to go tonight. Vikings lead it by 16. 49-33, you're watching on WLA TV. Stay with us. Going to come out of this timeout here, 49-33 Viking lead. And 3:57 to go in the game. Here's Cook. Cook crossing over. She's getting right to the point. There's a bounce pass, and it's stolen away. Nice defensive possession for the Vikings. I think that was Cole that got her body in the way and then collected the steal as well, as Shea is into the front court and gives it to Abby Cole. Cole hands off to Kuski. Kuski tries to find a backdoor cutting Kiera Shea. Normally, Siri Kuski, I don't keep turnover stats because I try to avoid the negative statistics. But Siri Kuski does not turn the ball over very often. That's a nice take from Ava Stachura, and she was bumped. I believe fouled by Lindsay Nell. Now they're going to say on the trail, Kiera Shea got her on the arm. Second foul for Shea. Sixth team foul for the Vikings. So Omro will be shooting bonus coming up here shortly. Next foul. There's a good take from Beck. She lost her footing and going the other way. I think Coach Geisthart is saying, are you suggesting my player just fell over there? 3:20. Shea, not wasting any time, gets her own offensive rebound, falling out of bounds, bounces pass to Jess Pino. And Coach Schaffnagel is going to take his 30-second timeout that he has remaining. As Pino looked a little uncertain about it, although she might have had a layup there. That was one of those where Coach Schaffnagel called timeout, they awarded it, and he was like, never mind. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been there coaching basketball. It's almost the same as the no, yes, when someone fires up a three-pointer and they make it. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go here tonight. And if nothing else, with a 16-point lead, I think the message from Coach Schaffnagel would probably just be, let's be a little bit more patient than screaming down the court and firing up a layup attempt or a floater while we're moving at 100 miles an hour. Here's Lindsay Nell. Nice guarding position by Ava Stachura, but Vikings going to clear some space with some screens. And they're going to get a moving screen on Kiera Shea. Well, there you go. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's Lindy Beck. Stachura, far side Cook, gets it down to Dare Leith, who's going to drive the lane. Brooks underneath, and she finishes. Brooks has 8. Maddie Brooks, there's a hold as Kiera Shea was cutting to the basketball, and she was grabbed by Lindy Beck. That's the 6th team foul on Omro. 2:43 to go tonight. We'll see. Down 14, maybe 50% free throw shooting Viking team. Is this a, I mean, you could theoretically start fouling with 2 minutes left if you wanted to, if you're Coach Geisthart, but they might get a steal here. It is tipped away from Pino. Into the front court comes Lindy Beck. Beck crosses over. Got to go a little bit more quickly if you're Omro here. Stachura has it in the corner, but you still want to get a quality shot, I suppose. Far side triple on the way. Looks good. Hit it. That's Julia Cook's first 3. She's the first Omro Fox into double figures. She's got 11, and the lead is down to 11 for the Vikings with 2 minutes to play. Shea crosses back over, spins, kicks. Lindsay Nell, smart play to reverse the dribble back to half court. She crosses. One-handed pass to Kiera Shea. Oh, nice cut. Siri Kuski underneath. Finishes. Siri Kuski through the contacts. Got 5 points. All 5 of them have been big junctures for the Vikings. Kuski gets back, stops the ball. Defensively, here goes Beck. Kicks it out. Cook thought about another 3. Stachura drives the lane. She kicks it out. There's Derleith going baseline. One-handed pass through to Beck. Lindy Beck drives the lane up with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Just wouldn't crawl over the front edge of the iron. It's tied up underneath. Nice job by both Brooks and Abby Cole. And it'll stay with Omro. 1 minute and 25 seconds, 51-38. Omro needs to get it going here offensively. Here's a chance. Back-to-back threes. You bet. Back-to-back threes for Julia Cook. And Cook's got 14 points, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Omro's got to think about fouling here, extend this game with just 60 seconds left or so. A little bit more than that. 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Here's Cook. Far side, that's Stachura. Stachura drives the lane up with the left hand. Count the basket and the foul. Abby Cole was straight up and down, but they're going to whistle her for a foul. Good take by Ava Stachura. And she'll head to the free throw line. The lead is now just 8 for the Vikings, and Stachura can cut it to 7 with a free throw. That is not what you wanted to do. If you're Abby Cole, you just want to let her score there, which Cole was trying to do. Stachura initiated a little bit of contact, and the whistle was forthcoming. First free throw of the night made for Stachura. She's 1 for 3. Coach Geistart's going to take a full timeout. With 1 minute and 1 second left, we have a ball game, 51-44. A couple of big threes made by Julia Cook. Cook's just a sophomore. She's hit 2 of the 4 threes tonight for Omro. Leads the team with 14 points. Stachura has 9, 8 for Maddie Brooks. Couple of sophomores and a junior. Looks very reminiscent of what the Vikings have. 9 for Abby Cole. She's a sophomore. Kiera Shea, well, I got her down for 18 points. We'll call it 17 for Shea. And then 16, check it, 17. No, just 15 for Lindsay Nell. This is what happens when you ask me to do math live on the air. 17 for Shea, 15 for Nell, 9 for Cole. For Omro, 14 for Cook, 9 for Stachura, 8 for Brooks. It's a 7-point lead for the Vikings, 51-44. 61 seconds left to play. 18 fouls for the Vikes, 6 for Omro. So the Vikings still, Omro, if there's ever going to be a time that you're going to erase a 7-point deficit in a minute, and I hope for WLA's sake I'm not speaking this into existence. But if there's ever going to be a chance, here you go. Kuski can run the baseline, and she does. Didn't really do anything. Omro wasn't trying to deny an inbounds pass, but now they're not fouling. Got to think about fouling. Right there, they missed a chance to foul Jess Pino, who's 1 for 9 on the season from the free throw line. Now you can't really worry about who you're going to foul, as Kiera Shea has it, and they're going to foul her. Again, Shea, 58.6% from the free throw line coming into tonight, and just 1 for 4 here tonight. Again, Omro there missed an opportunity. Number one, 20 seconds got drained off the clock, which is, oh man, I mean, that's a little bit much if you're looking at that. First free throw, no good, and Omro's got to go. Brooks gets it up ahead to Cook. Cook far side, Stachura. And they're going to call a block on Siri Kuski. Well. Should have been on the floor, so it should be 1-1. Oh, they're going to say she was shooting. So Kuski wasn't moving, was straight up and down. That was the first question. They called the foul, and then Also called it a shooting foul. 9th team foul, so it's 2 free throws no matter what from here on out for Omro. Statura misses both of them. An opportunity there to cut it within as few as 5 points. Lindsay now grabs the rebound, and she's fouled by Derleith. Lindsay Nell, statistically speaking, is the best free throw shooter for the Vikings. She shoots it at a 65.2% clip, which is not the best, and she misses the front end here. She was 3 for 3 tonight before that. Statura has it, gets it to Brooks. Brooks far side Cook. A lot of passes here for the Foxes who have to get things going. That goes home for Cook. Cook's got 16 now, and they got to try to find a Viking and Fowler. It's Kiera Shea, and Shea goes back to the free throw line. So the Vikings have had so far 2 1-and-1 opportunities. Shea missed the front end, and then Lindsay Nell missed the front end. And it's now a 5-point lead. Talked about it just a couple of minutes ago. If you're the Vikings, you just want to finish this thing out. And Shea's first free throw goes a long way in doing that with just 15.3 seconds left. Makes the front end, makes both of them, and that'll settle things down here for the Vikings. That should just about do it. Here's Cook. Going to stop and pop from 3. That one's short. Rebound down to Nell. Nell fights through some contact, and we'll head to the free throw line for the double bonus. 5.8 seconds left, and it looks like the Vikings have done just enough to knock off a pesky Omro squad, and they got to make the return trip up to Omro. That's going to be a tough one for the Vikings. Go to Omro and play that one. 5.8 seconds left, 53-46, 7-point lead for the Vikes. Double bonus here for Lindsay Nell. First free throw up and good for Nell. A little less pressure when it's not 1-and-1, right? You don't have to earn that second one. You know it's coming no matter what. Nell 4 for 5 from the charity stripe. Misses this one short as well. Rebound down to Cook. Cook throws it up ahead. Kicks it over to Brooks. 3 was good, but it was after. That was actually Derleith. 3 was good, but it was after the horn. So the final score here tonight, 54-46. It was a game of runs. Vikings extending it out to as many as 15, 16-point leads. But Omro just kept fighting back and battling and made this thing nip-tuck right up to the end. And you got to give them a lot of credit to make this an 8-point game, something that was down to 5 points at one point there late on in the ball game. 54-46 Viking lead, or Viking win, pardon me. 8-point Viking win. And we'll add up some final stats here. For the Omro Foxes, Lindy Beck had 2 points. Ava Statura had 9. 4 points for Hannah Federle. She hit a second half triple. 4 points for Lily Derleith. Tabitha Kilgus hit the first 3 of the night, and the only 3 for the Foxes. 8 points for Maddie Brooks, and the leading scorer was Julia Cook. Came into the game averaging 11.2 points per game, and she scored 16 points for Omro, including a couple of triples to get things back into what was a dogfight for the Vikings. Vikings had to work for this one tonight to put it in the win column in the Flyway Conference. Kiera Shea, let's see here. We're going to take away one of her 3s and make it a 2. So she had 17 points for the Vikings. Lindsay Nell had 10 in the first half, finished with 16 points. 5 points for Siri Kuski, all of them coming in the second half. Jess Pino had 3 points. Maddie Lair had a pair of points in the second half on a nice floater, and then 9 points for Abby Cole. That's the scoring for the Vikings to add up to their 54-46 win. Vikings move to 4-1 in the Flyway Conference. Omro drops to 3-2 in the Flyway, and I wasn't able to pull up and get any other scores. I know Laconia was playing Mayville tonight, coming into tonight, the standings were as follows. Laconia was 4-0. Told you about the collection of 3 teams in second place at 3-1. WLA obviously moving past Omro, and not sure what Springs did tonight. North Fond du Lac, Mayville, and Lemira all 1-3 so far on the conference season. Coming into tonight, which I believe was a conference night all the way around for the Flyway. And then Campbellsport is 0-4 so far in the Flyway. Really impressed with this Omro squad as we wrap things up here at WLA, and want to thank you for joining us. Really well-coached crew, a team that there were several times, both in the first and second halves, when this team could have folded up and just been done. But you got to give them credit with the way they fought, battled back, and made this one where the Viking fans couldn't sit back and relax in the second half. You thought when they got it out to 15, yeah, this thing's probably just about good. And give Omro credit for making this a game down the stretch. Nonetheless, they won't, I remember being a high school athlete not too long ago, and that's not much consolation at this point. But Omro fought hard and is certainly going to decide not only who wins, but who is second place in this conference. Omro is going to go a long way into deciding which team that is. Vikings took a big step. They'll try to take another one on Friday when they go and play a rivalry game up at St. Mary's Springs Academy. That's on Friday. That's at St. Mary's Springs, so we won't have that here on WLA TV. We'll be back on Thursday for a big game for the Viking boys basketball team. They had a big win last night, a gritty win over Oakfield on the road, and they got a really, really good Flyway contending Mayville team coming in here on Thursday. And Coach Jans has done a great job with that program. Coach Nell done a great job with our Viking program here as well. So I'm looking forward to that one on Thursday. Hope you'll join us. Varsity will tip off at 7:15 or right there about on Thursday evening. 54-46 is the final between the Vikings and the Foxes. The Vikings girls basketball team moves to 9-1 on the season and 4-1 in the Flyway Conference. Jordan King saying so long from the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.